Hey everybody, this is Grace, and in this video I'm going to talk about when people are spoiled rotten and they like to use somebody else's money, okay, especially family. And I've been doing my videos kind of out of order, so this is more of the, not my circus videos. But last night, Adam and I went up, well, Adam was upstairs with his older brother Jeff, and that's where they're sleeping. Jeff and their sister Tara. They have rooms upstairs where they sleep, and well, we have an air conditioner for upstairs and downstairs. And Adam and Jeff were upstairs. They were actually in the attic looking to see where this squirrel or raccoon was getting in between the floors and scratching at night. So looking to see if they could see any kind of opening to outside, all that. And so I went up there, and then Tara went up there. And at some point I was, feeling how hot it was up there, and I looked to see what the air conditioner heater, the thermostat was on, and it was on really, really high. And Adam walked out at that moment of the room, and Tara's room. They were talking to her about her packing or something by that point. And I told him, I said, I turned this down because it was way too high. And he asked me how high, and I told him, and his eyes kind of got really big, like he was really angry. And he said, turn it down. I said, well, what do you want me to put it on? I said, I put it on 72, and he said, no, turn it down to at least 70. And he was ticked off, but he had already told me that he thinks he knows his family is spoiled rotten, and the things that they do and so forth, But I think he more says that to kind of appease me, because that's how I feel, and I'm not quite as silent about it this time. Okay, and the reason I'm not about the heater is because a heating unit, when it's too high, it, central heat, it will mess with my kidneys, okay, and I informed them of that. His brother and his sister, and Adam already knows. And it also messes with the skin on my hands, the top part of my hands, basically around the knuckles and at the wrist. And it will, this is kind of gross, but yeah, it'll split the skin and it'll start bleeding. And then it takes a while to heal because the heater's still on. And we had some cold days, but they wanted it on all the time, both downstairs and upstairs. And we weren't going to, I couldn't handle that. At nighttime, we always turn it, I do, and he knows I do. I turn it down to like somewhere between 58 and 62, 64, somewhere, but it's always lower. Since they've been here, it's been more like 62, 64. But, yeah, and of course, during all this, when them hearing it, they were trying to tell me all kinds of other reasons. I'm 54 years old. I do not need people to tell me what goes on with my body, and that's them doing that infantilization, infantilizing me and treating me like I'm a child, and that's one of their favorite things to do. And there is one thing that I had been using when I would go out is the antibacterial stuff. I don't know. And I said, yeah, it could be that. But she asked me with the smirk one day while we were, alone. And she said, oh, it's okay. Now, mind you, she was telling me, we don't have a language in common. So her English, I don't know their language at all. And her English is kind of limited. But she was making her point that it was not the heater. And anyway, she did things like, Tara, she did things like, going around wearing a blanket. Okay, so I went and got her, finally, I think after a couple, a day or two, I went and got some of my sweaters and handed them to her. And then she, of course, said something to them later, right after that, really, and in their language, and just smirked and made some comment. But she walked around wearing that sweater, one of them. Oh, my goodness, drama queen. But anyway, that of me going up there and finding that, and Adam telling me to turn it down because it was way too hot, way too high. And it's not like they don't have blankets. They have these really thick blankets up there. And I have one blanket, you know, real thick blanket, and it's just fine. but they have to have it on because that way they're spending his money, and they're wanting to show that they can. Okay, that's just part of the reason, of course, just part of it. So anyway, so we did that. You know, he had me turn it down, and I. Now the thing about it is, when we were getting our downstairs heating and air done, it broke down, and so we had it totally replaced. Well, we were using the upstairs one to cool down the house, and this was just this summer, I think. And so it does cool down the house. Well, now it's heating up, and yes, I could feel it. I could feel that heat, and my hands were showing. And when I came to the hotel where I am right now, I was here for 4 nights, and of course my hands healed. I go back home, I'm there just a little while, and it starts happening again. And well, that's a good reason, because it was also heating downstairs. Anyway, so that was last night, or yesterday, when we saw that, and I turned it down. Well, this morning, I wake up during the middle of the night because I take a blood pressure pill that has a diuretic in it, and I'm up a few times during the night, and each time it was so hot in there, I couldn't believe how hot it was, and I could feel the heat coming down from upstairs. So when we both got up this morning, I went up there and checked, and it was high again. So yeah, it's not their money, they can spend, and it's not a money thing, it's a what nerve kind of thing, for somebody to do that, knowing, and they were told, and then me saying it, and then Adam telling them that it could affect me and my my kidneys and all that. It didn't matter. It was all about them, So anyway, that's one of them. I'm going to have a few of these stories to tell, but I think I'm running out of room on this thing. But yeah, that was ridiculous. I mean, it was so high. I don't know what it would be set where you are, but it was high, and it was hot. Okay. Anyway, I don't know how much room is left on here, but I have gotten my, like I mentioned at the beginning, I got my series all mixed up, and I don't think I'm going to get them in any kind of order, because I don't remember. I've actually uploaded some later on, I made later, more recent, before the ones that I had already made. So, anyway, that's enough of this video for now. If you want to subscribe, click the circle. If you want to watch another video on this channel, click one of the rectangles. Like, subscribe, comment, and share if you would, and I'll talk to y'all in another video. Bye.